36,000 feet below the surface of the ocean, there is a place so extreme, so hostile, that for a long time, scientists were convinced nothing could survive there. No sunlight, no warmth, pressure strong enough to crush steel. And yet, something is alive down there. Not just surviving, but adapting, evolving, thriving. And what scientists eventually found wasn't just surprising, it was disturbing. Because if life can exist here, then maybe we've been wrong about where life can exist at all. From the surface, the ocean feels familiar. Waves move gently, light reflects beautifully, it looks calm, safe. But that's just the surface, because the moment you start going down, everything begins to change. At first, sunlight follows you. You see fish, color, movement, coral reefs bursting with life. It feels alive. But keep going, and something strange happens. The colors begin to disappear. Red, gone. Orange fades. Yellow disappears, until everything becomes blue, then darker blue, then nothing. At around 1,000 feet, the sunlight is completely gone. No sunrise, no sunset, no shadows, just permanent darkness. This is what scientists call the midnight zone. And even here, life still finds a way. But what you're about to see goes far beyond this, because the Mariana Trench is not just deep, it's the deepest place on Earth, stretching over 1,500 miles, hidden in the western Pacific Ocean. But the real mystery is at the bottom, a place called Challenger Deep, nearly 11 kilometers down. That's almost 7 miles. Let that sink in. If you took Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth, and dropped it into the trench, its peak would still be underwater by more than a mile. This isn't just deep. This is a place completely outside human experience. In fact, more people have been to space than to the bottom of this trench. And when you understand what's down there, you'll see why. Everything about this environment says one thing: life should not exist here. The pressure alone is unimaginable, over 1,000 times stronger than what you feel right now. That means if you were suddenly transported there, your lungs wouldn't struggle, they would collapse instantly. Your body wouldn't adapt, it would be crushed in seconds. Even most submarines cannot survive that depth. And then there's the cold. Temperatures barely above freezing, cold enough to slow life down to almost nothing. And then, the biggest problem of all, there is no sunlight. No sunlight means no photosynthesis, no plants, no food chain, no obvious source of energy. So for decades, scientists believed something very simple: the Mariana Trench was empty. But in 1960, everything changed, because two men decided to prove that idea wrong. Their names were Don Walsh and Jacques Piccard, and they were about to attempt something no human had ever done before: reach the bottom of the ocean. They entered a small submersible called the Trieste. Cramped, cold, barely enough room to move. Once the hatch closed, there was no turning back. They began to sink, slowly, deeper and deeper. As the light disappeared behind them, darkness closed in. The only thing separating them from the crushing pressure outside was a thin metal shell. Hours passed. Every meter down, the pressure increased. The hull began to creak, groan. Every sound felt like a warning. Then suddenly, a loud crack. One of the outer layers fractured. At that depth, That sound meant one thing: you might not make it back. They had a choice: turn back or keep going. Most people would have stopped. They didn't. They kept descending. After nearly 5 hours, they reached it, the deepest point on Earth. And what they saw was not what anyone expected. At first, nothing. Just a flat, silent seafloor, covered in fine sediment like dust untouched for millions of years. Then, something moved. A small, fish-like creature gliding across the ocean floor. Nearby, shrimp-like organisms shifted in the sediment. Life. At the deepest point on Earth, there was life. When they returned and told the world what they saw, many scientists didn't believe them. A fish at that depth? Impossible. The pressure alone should have made that unreal. For years, their discovery was questioned, dismissed, debated. But decades later, technology caught up, and this time there was no doubt. Robotic explorers were sent down, unmanned, equipped with cameras, sensors, able to go deeper, stay longer, and record everything. And what they found changed everything. The Mariana Trench was not empty. It was alive. But not in the way we understand life. This was something else, something alien. Fish with soft, gelatinous bodies, not rigid but flexible, designed to survive pressure that would destroy anything else. Giant amphipods, shrimp-like creatures far larger than anything near the surface, scavengers feeding on whatever drifts down from above. Strange octopuses moving silently through total darkness. And then, the most shocking part, microorganisms. Tiny life forms thriving in conditions once thought to be completely uninhabitable. So how is any of this possible? How does life exist without sunlight? The answer is something most people never think about: chemosynthesis. Instead of sunlight, these organisms use chemicals from the Earth itself. Energy released from hydrothermal vents, from reactions deep within the planet. That means life down here is not powered by the sun, it's powered by the Earth. And that changes everything. Because if life doesn't need sunlight, then where else could it exist? Suddenly, places we once ignored become possibilities. Frozen moons, hidden oceans beneath ice, worlds we thought were lifeless might not be. But just as scientists were starting to understand this hidden world, they found something they didn't expect. At the bottom of the Mariana Trench, nearly 7 miles down, they found plastic. A bag, wrappers, fragments of human waste. Let that sink in. The most remote place on Earth is not untouched, and it gets worse. When scientists examined the creatures living there, they found microplastics inside their bodies, tiny particles that had traveled from the surface all the way down to the deepest point on the planet. There is no untouched place left, not even here. The Mariana Trench is more than just the deepest place on Earth. It's proof that life can exist in ways we never imagined. And at the same time, it's a reminder that our impact reaches further than we think, even into places we may never see. We've climbed mountains, mapped continents, even walked on the moon, but the deepest place on Earth is still almost completely unknown. Not because we can't reach it, but because every time we do, we realize something uncomfortable. We are not in control down there. And maybe that's the part people don't like to think about. That somewhere, just a few miles beneath the surface, there is an entire world living its own reality completely separate from ours. Or at least, that's what we used to believe. If this changed the way you see the ocean, then you're not ready for what's coming next. There are places on this planet that are even stranger than this. Subscribe and stay with Obscurophiles, because the next case only gets darker. And before you go, I want your honest answer. If we've explored so little of the ocean, what do you think is still down there that we haven't discovered yet? Drop it in the comments. I'll be reading.